When someone asks me what I do, I usually say I'm a photographer and director and I run a production company. I may even mention that I primarily work in outdoor travel and adventure. And almost everyone responds the same way. Wow, that's such a cool job. And it is, and I'm really proud of that. But what people picture when they hear me say it is me traveling around, shooting cameras, flying drones in insane locations. And that's probably where I spend the least amount of my time. So what am I actually doing with my time? Let's talk about it. My name is Nolan Matthews. I'm a photographer, director, and pilot based in Utah. After nearly a decade in the corporate world, I walked away to build a life around travel, adventure, and storytelling. This channel is all about the work, the process, and the stories behind it all. Being a creative professional is really awesome. I get to go to some incredible places, make things, and call it work. And most days, it doesn't feel like a job at all. But in order to create those moments, the shoots, the travel, the project, there's an enormous amount of work happening behind the scenes that nobody ever sees. And that work is what actually keeps the business moving. There's no such thing as a typical day in this career. But there are things I do consistently every week to make sure the business and the career are moving forward. And here's what that actually looks like. Let's get something out of the way right off the bat. When I'm on a production, it dominates everything. Shoot days are for shooting. And there's not much else that gets done, and that's kind of by design. But here's the tension. If I'm on location for an extended stretch, my business essentially goes on pause. Nobody's there pulling the networking levers, no new leads are being developed, nothing is moving forward except the project that's in front of me. And that's why systems matter so much. The goal is to build your business in a way that doesn't completely stall every time that you're on a shoot or not fully present. It's something that I'm still working on getting better at, and it's a real challenge worth acknowledging. On a normal day at the office, roughly half my time goes to biz dev or business development. And that's a fancy way of saying I'm constantly working to grow my network, generate new leads, and turn those leads into actual work. And while that can sound like all I'm doing is sitting around and selling all day, the approach is way more nuanced than that. I'm truly trying to connect with people, get coffee, have Zoom calls, conversations, just getting to know people in my world. Because the more people I know, the more rooms I can get myself into. And the more rooms I'm in, the more opportunities I have to help someone. That's really how I think about it. Networking for me isn't about selling, it's about connecting with people who I can help or who may be able to help me. These days, there are hundreds of people in my contact list. I use a CRM and a specific process to manage it all, because without a system, it just becomes noise. But I can tell you with confidence, the more time I invest here, the more opportunities come. It's like a garden. The more you water it, the more it grows. Most of the time, biz dev is half of my day. Every day I'm at the office, and that's where most of the real business building happens. The other half of my day starts with client work, and there's more to that than most people realize. At any given time, we might have 2 or 3 projects in various stages of post or pre-production that I'm overseeing, making sure edits are moving forward, timelines and budgets are being met, and the final product is going to meet the standard that we set out to deliver. There are also projects in the pipeline that we are prepping for: logistics, scripts, talent, locations, assembling a crew. By the time we actually get on set and start doing the things that look cool from the outside, we've already put in hours and hours of work that nobody sees. The bigger the project, the more prep that went into it. And after the shoot comes home, there's another full chapter of work organizing files, overseeing the edits, managing the client communications, and delivering something polished at the end. The shoot is almost never the biggest part of the job. What fills what's left over is everything else, all the things that every small business owner has to deal with, regardless of what industry they're in. Accounting, IT, website updates, marketing, SEO, equipment maintenance, and these days, I have someone on my team and often subcontractors, which means I'm also thinking about payroll, hours, insurance, and making sure everybody has what they need to do their job well. This stuff never goes away. And the key is to get disciplined about when you handle it, because squeezing it into the margins is not a strategy, and you certainly don't want to let this stuff bleed in the time you need for business development or client work. Every week on Sunday night, I write down everything I'm looking to accomplish in the week ahead into my planner. And then each day, I structure my time to move the needle in specific areas. And at a high level, I try to touch on 6 things every day. 1, be visible. 2, marketing. 3, selling. 4, client work. 5, business admin stuff. And 6, personal, which is exercise, food, and family, like being a good dad and husband. And the one thing that I've learned that makes a real difference is that if I'm in the mode, I stay in it. Business development time is for business development. Client work time is for client work. Switching back and forth between 2 or 3 buckets is the fastest way to destroy your flow and get nothing done well. So yeah, I'm a photographer, director, drone pilot, and I run a production company. And if you follow me on social media, you see all the cool stuff, the locations, the shoots, the final work. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The work happens when nobody's watching. It's pulling levers, pushing the business forward, and spending far more time behind a computer screen than behind a camera, so that when the shoot day comes, we're actually ready for it. The further along I've gotten in this career, the less time I actually spend shooting. And honestly, that used to feel like a strange thing to admit, but I've come to see it differently. The shooting is the reward. Everything else is how you earn it. If this resonated, drop a comment. I'd love to know how you're spending your time right now and where you feel the most stretched. I drop new episodes every Sunday. Subscribe if this is the kind of content you're looking for, and I'll see you next week.